What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Sober Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for all 12 final girls in the Friday the 13th franchise. So there's 12 movies, so that means there's 12 final girls and everything, so I thought I'd go ahead and rank them all. I'm not including Tommy Jarvis on here, obviously, because he's not a girl, but if I were to do final guys of the franchise, he would easily be number one. But most of the other final guys in this franchise are really forgettable, so I probably won't do that ranking and everything. So, but I'm going to go ahead and get going. Coming in at number 12 is Pam Roberts from Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. Like I've stated before, this movie is one of my least favorites in the franchise, so really was easy to put her at the bottom because she's not a very memorable character, and I'm not a huge I was never a huge fan of the character anyway. She kind of got on my nerves and everything. Melania Kinnaman is okay in the role. She overacts a little bit and makes Pam a little bit over dramatic and stuff, so she just isn't one of my favorite characters and everything. I like though that she does try to protect Reggie and stuff and everything. She is kind of cool on that reason, but like I said, this is just one of the movies in the franchise I don't like revisiting, so naturally she'd be easily one of my least favorite final girls. So yeah, so Pam Roberts is number 12, and number 11 is Rhonda Wickman from Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I think Jensen Daggett is a fine actress, and she was okay in the role and everything. I just didn't really care for Rhonda. That character was just really weirdly written. Like, she has this weird psychic connection to Jason and stuff, like it and everything, because he almost drowned her as a kid or something. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and she like has these weird visions of him outside of her window on the ship and everything, and visions of him turning into a kid when they kill him with the acid and stuff. It doesn't make any lick of sense at all and everything. And Rhonda Wickman is just one of those final girls that's just really not very memorable or anything like that, and it just, a lot of things don't make sense with her, so that's why she's number 11. And number 10 is Jessica Campbell from Jason Goes to Hell. This one is Jason's cousin, who was just all of a sudden introduced into the franchise when New Line bought it out to make this movie, and it was supposed to be the final Friday the 13th movie at that time, which, even though they say it really wasn't intended to be, because they were planning on Freddy vs. Jason and stuff. But this movie is not one of the worst movies in the franchise or anything, but this is easily one of the worst final girls. I almost put her under Rennie, just because she doesn't really have much of a personality. Aside from her being Jason's cousin, there's not really much that I remember about her. Every time I watch this movie, she's always one of the characters I instantly forget and everything. She's just kind of forgettable. She's just isn't one of my favorite characters in the franchise. So Jessica Campbell is number 10, and number 9 is Whitney from the Friday the 13th remake. I think she was a alright final girl. The main reason she's this low is she doesn't get near as much screen time as most of the final girls, because she's in there for a few minutes at the beginning, and then they show her a couple times throughout the movie, and then she's in there again at the end. But she's being held hostage by Jason and stuff because she reminds him of his mother, which I think is a really kind of unique take on Jason and stuff. And she is a lot like Jenny from Part 2, which you'll see much higher on here, like in the way that she uses the psychology and stuff to manipulate Jason and everything. But she's a pretty good final girl, but she just doesn't have enough screen time. Everything. That's why she's so low. If she had more screen time, she might be a little bit higher. But I do like her, and pretty much from here on up, I think all of them are at least decent characters and everything. So Whitney is number 9, and number 8 is Laurie Campbell from Freddy vs. Jason. This is one of those characters that I'm kind of mixed on. I like Laurie in a lot of ways. Like, I've always thought she was a really likable character and everything, except I don't like some of the stuff that she does in this movie. Like, she's one of the characters that tries to make Jason out to be a hero and stuff, and I absolutely hate that. Like Jason isn't a hero and everything. She acts like he's not like this mindless killer and everything, and that he needs to be saved and all that. It's like y'all could have brought Freddy into the real world, and you and your friends could have ganged up on him and everything. If Nancy can take him on in the first movie, then y'all could easily have done it. Y'all didn't need to use Jason to be your hero to save him and stuff. And that's one of the main reasons why she's so low, because she is a really likable character, though, and I just don't think she's very bright on that and everything. But she don't know as much about Jason's history and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know, but she has more of a history with Freddy and everything. But she's a fine final girl and everything. So I also hate that she took Jason's last blow from him and stuff at the end of the movie. But that there was a lot of things I didn't like that they did with Jason in that movie. So, but yeah, Laurie Campbell from Freddy vs. Jason is number 8, and number 7 is Chris Higgins from Friday the 13th Part 3. Dana Campbell plays her, and I think she does a pretty good job and everything. I think Chris is an okay final girl. I like that she kind of has a history with Jason, like she ran into him, and she has PTSD from her run-in with him and everything. It's indicated that he kind of did stuff to her, which I don't know that he did. That's what a lot of people at least assume anyway. I'm not sure Jason's smart enough to know how to do that, but I mean, I don't know. But I think she was a pretty good character. Dana Campbell does a really good job playing her and everything. And she's one of the final girls I would have liked to see more of, maybe see what would have happened with her. She's definitely not one of the very best, but I think she's pretty good, and she's one of the ones that's kind of a perfect middle of the road final girl for me and everything. So she's number 7, I'm sorry, from Part 3. And number 6 is Tina Shepard from Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. There are things about Tina that I really like, but there's more that I don't. But I can't deny that she put up a really great fight with Jason using her telekinetic powers and stuff. And that last act when she's fighting him and stuff is always a lot of fun to watch. But up until then, I'm not really a fan of Tina. I've always thought she was really whiny and kind of annoying and got on my nerves and stuff because of that. But Laura Park Lincoln does the best she can with what she has to work with. And this one, like with Part 5, isn't one of my favorite movies in the franchise, so that could play a part in it too. But I can't deny, though, that her powers and stuff are pretty cool and everything. And even though she's pretty much a ripoff of Carrie White from Carrie, it's still cool getting to see her fighting Jason and stuff. It was a cool concept and everything. I just wish the character wouldn't have been as whiny and stuff as she is in this movie, and would have just been more of a kick butt character and stuff. But yeah, so Tina's number 6, and number 5 is Rowan from Jason X. I actually think she's a really awesome character. She's one that Jason is chasing and stuff, and he gets frozen for 445 years and everything, and she gets frozen too. And Jason almost has her killed, and would have had her killed if she didn't get frozen too. And they the people in the future are able to heal her wound really quickly and stuff, and save her from being dead. And her and she's trying to help the crew stop Jason and stuff. It's really likable character though. She's just really likable. There are some things about her I don't really get, like how she can just be okay with being 445 years into the future, knowing that everybody she knows and loves is dead and stuff like that. I don't get that part about her, but aside from that, I think she's a really great final girl and really likable character and doesn't really get the credit she deserves. So Rowan is number 5, and number 4 is Alice Hardy from Friday the 13th, the first one. The very first final girl in the whole franchise. I've always kind of had a soft spot for her. Maybe it's because of the first movie being the first one I ever saw, and her being the first final girl, and maybe it's because Adrienne King is just so good at playing her, or it's just she's really likable. She kind of seems like a down-to-earth girl, and everything. She doesn't have a whole lot of development or anything. But she does have a nice personality, and I've always really liked her and everything. So Alice Hardy is easily number 4, and number 3 is Trish Jarvis, the sister of Tommy Jarvis from Friday the 13th, the final chapter. She's played by Kimberly Beck, and I think she does a really good job playing her. But I really like Trish. I will say she's not the brightest out of the final girls. I mean, she could have probably gotten Tommy and escaped pretty easily if she didn't just keep running through the house and running through different parts of the house to see the dead bodies and stuff. I thought that was kind of silly and everything, but it did have some really she does have some really great moments, like when she cuts his hand and stuff and everything, and her trying her hardest to protect Tommy and stuff. She is a really likable character and everything though, and I like the relationship she had with Tommy that was never explored in any of the sequels. I don't know why they never brought Trish back, because I'm almost 100%. I know she didn't die in this one, so I don't know why they never brought her back and everything. Since they brought Tommy back, maybe in a future installment they'll bring her back too or something, who knows. But I really like Trish. I think she's a really likable character. Like I said, she's not the brightest though. She does a lot of dumb stuff when she's running throughout the house and everything, but it kind of adds a little bit of amusement to it. It's like you could have stepped over the body, ran off, got Tommy, and gotten a head start of getting away, although they probably wouldn't have got away because cars never work in this franchise when they're trying to get away. But yeah, so Trish Jarvis is number 3, and number 2 is Megan Garris from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. I absolutely love Megan. She's just a really, really likable character. She's funny. She's just got a really good heart and everything, and she's easily one of my favorites. In fact, I think I did this video a few years ago, or I attempted to do it, and when I did, she was my number 1 back then and everything, but I decided to put her at number 2 because of one other character. But I think Megan Garris is just a really, really likable character. The way she fights with her dad and stuff is really, really fun to watch and everything. Even though she fights with him, you can tell they still care about each other. It was a really great relationship and everything. And when Sheriff Garris dies trying to protect her and stuff, it kind of adds a little bit of an emotional punch and everything. And I love how she has this her relationship with Tommy is developing and stuff and everything. This is one of those characters that if they ever did do any new Friday the 13th sequels, I would love for them to bring her back and bring Tommy Jarvis back as well, along with Trish. I think it'd be awesome to have all 3 of them back. But I think Jennifer Cook did a really great job as as Megan, and she's easily one of my favorite characters in the franchise, and my second favorite final girl. My main reason for her being number 2 is she doesn't really fight Jason a lot in this. Like all the other final girls, kind of at least have to fight off Jason or whichever killer it is, whether it's Roy or Pamela Voorhees and stuff. She doesn't have to do a lot of the fighting and stuff, but throughout most of the last act, she's trying to protect the kids and stuff, which I think is cool too, and everything. And she does almost get killed though, and everything. And she's the one character in the whole franchise that when Jason was about to kill her, I was like, please don't do that, Jason. She's like one of the characters that I was really actually rooting for up against Jason and everything. But yeah, so she's number 2, and my number 1 favorite final girl is Jenny from Friday the 13th Part 2, played by Amy Still. This is kind of crazy because Part 2 isn't even one of my favorite movies in the franchise, but I just absolutely love Jenny. I think she's really awesome, and I think every time I watch this movie, I think she's a little more cool and everything. The way she just uses that psychology and stuff on Jason, pretending to be his mother and everything. She's like really smart, one of the smartest final girls out there and everything. And there's just something about her that's likable. It would have been awesome kind of getting to see her come back and everything. That they originally wanted to bring her back for Part 3, and I really kind of wish they would have. But I think she's a really great character, and everything. And she was the one that I didn't really expect to be the final girl for some reason. I don't know why. I guess maybe because there were other characters in there that I thought were going to be the final girl. Kind of like with Part 1, when I saw it the first time, I thought that it was going to be Annie being the final girl, but she wasn't either. But Jenny was a really good one. She put up a really good fight against Jason, although this version of Jason didn't really have a lot to do, though. He didn't really have a lot of fighting with her and stuff, but he was able to get beat up by her quite a bit, is what I mean. This Jason was a lot weaker than other versions and stuff. I noticed this time when I watched it, like he stumbles a lot and all that. But she was a really good match for this version of Jason, and she just really good. So Jenny from Friday the 13th Part 2 is easily my favorite final girl in the franchise. But anyway, let me know in the comments who your favorite final girls are from the Friday the 13th franchise. If you don't want to do all of them, just tell me your favorites and least favorites. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.